Zybar advert. It was pretty intense. I like that.
Yeah, that's
And,
the restaurant that we've been eating at every night. One of the sponsors of the event. That's been taking care of us, and the food's pretty good.
Yeah, I like to hear that. Local wine and dine areas where we can go and enjoy ourselves here in Antofagasta. I haven't had enough time, and I mean, my budget doesn't really allow it to be going that big at the moment, but I hope in the future years to come I'll be able to afford something like that. It looks pretty fancy. In the water right now, let me read out: Ede Luciano, Brahim Idush, Kalani Latanzi, and Grenier Lowry from Reunion. These guys are very, very experienced competitors. Ede Luciano, one of the Brazilian powerhouses on the GSS. He's here at the QS just to get some extra points.
Oh, so look at this interference already.
Something's happened out here.
Blue on yellow looks like it's going to end up being.
If they do call that. I don't know if yellow actually got to the point where blue took off. If he didn't, that's probably not going to be interference. But we'll see what the judges call. That is luckily not up to me to decide. And let me give you a little bit of a history of the guys in the water right now. Ede Luciano, Brazilian powerhouse on the GSS, top 16 guys last year. He managed to re-qualify through the GQS and is back on the GSS this year. Just getting some extra points and cash at this event. And Brahimi Douche in white from Morocco. He is also on the GSS. He's just come here today to compete at another GQS, maybe get some extra points in case he doesn't get enough results on the GSS this year to re-qualify. And I guess just for the party, you know, Antofagasta is an amazing place for an event like this. Cool vibe, amazing people, and a great place to come and visit. If you're already in Arica, why not come down here?
Yeah, for sure.
And
you know, I have a question for you. As we see up in riding, this is white, Brahimi Douche, the Moroccan rider.
Let's see what he's got. Little spin. And,
a little tummy twirl.
He's really good. This guy in left like this, let me tell you, he's a very dangerous competitor. He has some big aerial moves. Anything in the pocket, he's very dangerous. There, just a little bit lumpy, a bit of a rip off the reef there. Put him off, so he didn't decide to carry on with that. Pulled out. The third competitor in this heat, Kalani Latanzi from Brazil. He is a 2011 Latin American champion. He has had some great results, Puerto Rico and Brazil, places like that.
This
is
the
fourth competitor.
Grenier Lowry.
Grenier Lowry from Reunion. Another very dangerous competitor, very skilled and talented bodyboarder. Let me tell you, this guy has got a lot to offer.
Now, I was going to ask you, Sasha, tell me this. Now, this is a GQS, as we see another roll right there for Lowry. This is a GQS event, so as we explained, the riders are looking to get enough points to become a top 8 rider on the GQS, which qualifies them for the GSS, the Grand Slam events next year.
Right.
Now, tell me this. Now, any GSS qualified rider can come here and compete.
Absolutely.
Now, what happens if they compete in all the GQSs and they get enough points to be in the top 8, but they're not in the top 16 of the World Tour? Do they automatically requalify?
That's exactly what they're trying to do. The whole aim of the GQS is to give 8 slots. The top 8 riders at the end of the year on the GQS, they automatically move into the GSS bottom 8. So top 16 in the GSS, the Grand Slam Series, they stay on for the following year.
But even if you're already a GSS rider, like let's say you're a GSS rider,
yep,
but you're 20th in the points, so you're going to lose your spot on the tour.
Exactly.
But you've been doing the GQS and you're in the top 8, so you remain on the tour?
That would be the way to do it. That's exactly what you want to be doing.
In red, this is Ede Luciano on his first wave, the Brasileiro.
He's just looking for something more. I don't think he's going to get much more. A little calf spin there to get off. And, you know, essentially the GQS is for all the riders who want to qualify for the GSS. Whether you're on it or not, that's not the point. It's open to absolutely anyone. We're trying to encourage people to come and do the qualifying series. And that is going to, those top 8 slots on the qualifying series are going to be awarded. And
big roll right there for Eder. Unfortunately, it was only the only vertical maneuver on the wave.
Yep.
Throws a little cutback reverse in the white water, but that's not going to do much for him. So we have scores coming through. The man from Reunion Island, Lowry, coming in with a 5.75. Kalani Latanzi with 3.5. Brahimi Douche, 2.63. So currently leading the heat, Grenier Lowry, Eder Luciano, Kalani Latanzi in third, and Brahimi Douche in fourth. But again, the second, third, and fourth place riders each only have 1 scoring wave thus far. So the situation is certainly going to change with less than 14 minutes to go. And Yo-Yo is down on the beach with our heat winner. Yo-Yo, tell us what's going on with Rui.
Thanks, Eric. I'm here down with the winner of the last heat, Rui Pereira from Portugal. Rui.
Hello. Good morning. How are you?
Very good. Good. Rui, you had a very tight hit. Tell us about this hit against big names like Guilherme Tamega.
Yes, very difficult because Tamega it's one of our heroes, you know, and always very hard to compete with. And I just give my best. And luckily, I made first. He could made it too, or Bobby. They are very good riders, so I was just lucky they didn't catch the wave and I catch it.
You've been surfing here for a few days. You just told me that it was hard to you to find the synchrony with the waves. How do you feel it right now surfing at La Cúpula?
Yes, I've been here a couple of years free surfing, but I think when it's bigger, it's better and way better to find the waves. And when it's small, can break here, can break there. When it's big, it's right on the outside. Just have to wait for the good wave and catch it.
Thanks very much, Rui. And would you like to tell some greetings to someone back home?
Só queria mandar abraço a todo o pessoal aí da costa e aos meus amigos e aos meus patrocinadores, à Toys, Bodyboards e à Agente 18, ao João Brazão, ao Tiago e ao Rui e à minha mulher. Grande abraço e beijinho a todos os meus amigos e fiquem bem. E vamos para o próximo. Força.
Aí, todo mundo em Portugal. Thanks, Eric. This is what's happening down here on the beach.
Okay, thank you so much, Yo-Yo. Catching out with Rui Pereira, the Portuguese rider who won that heat, and he and Bobby Quinones are moving on to the 6th round. And like we said, surprising to see Guilherme Tamega going down. But still, in this heat right now, Grenier Lori, Eder Luciano, they are in 1st and 2nd place. Brahimi Dush with a 2.08 on that last wave, not going to really help him too much. And Kalani Latanzi, the Brazilian with a Hawaiian first name, still only 1 wave under his belt here, and things are going to change, I'm sure.
Actually, Kalani's name, the reason why his first name is Kalani is because he was born in Hawaii.
Yeah.
How's that?
His dad's Hawaiian.
Yeah, he was born on Maui, Hawaii, and I didn't know that. He's actually my roommate here at this event, so I've learned a lot about him, and he's a great guy, very very calm and very relaxed kind of personality, very welcoming and warm, and he's an awesome guy. I've had an amazing time hanging out with him and getting to know the young Kalani Latanzi from Itacoatiara, Brazil.
Oh, he's from Itacoatiara.
He is. He's quite the madman out there, especially when it's big. He loves to charge and hit some massive ramps. So look out for him at the next Grand Slam event, which is going to be in Itacoatiara next week. And a bit of a set coming through here. It looks like Grenier looking at it, but he didn't like it and let it go by. It went a bit fat, maybe too much water on the reef from that first wave. And Grenier's in 1st place. He's sitting with a healthy score there of a 5.71 and a 1.2. Eder Luciano only has 1 wave, a 6.13. And once he gets a 2nd right, he'll definitely move up into 1st place and overtake Grenier. Brahimi Dush and Kalani Latanzi both need to start again, start posting some serious scores if they want to stay in this event.
Yeah, for sure.
And
you know, and one thing that is great news for us is just, I mean, this swell coming through because, man, all day long we were here trying to make the call every couple hours, trying to get people in the water. It just didn't happen. So to see the swell coming through now is a godsend. As I see a rider in yellow, Kalani Latanzi, the man from Itacoatiara.
The nice power roll through the little end section. He's going to stick with this, try to see what he can find here. And a little carve reverse. He's, like I said earlier, he's Latin American champion for 2011. He definitely knows what it takes to win heats, and especially in waves like this when it's big and powerful. So I don't think we've seen the end of him. He's going to paddle back out and try and stump his authority over these other 3 guys.
Yeah, still plenty of time, 9 minutes and 30 seconds to go. And I'm excited to see the girls in some good-sized waves. You know, I'd like to see Isabella Sousa as well as Alexandra Rinder in some big waves. I want to see these girls busting the backflips and ARSs that they're known for. I'm really impressed by both those girls riding here at the event earlier.
Absolutely. You know, there's a lot of girls that have come out here and put on a good show, and that's exactly what we want to come and see here. And the swell arriving is exactly what we wanted. You know, it couldn't have turned out better here for the last day of the 2013 Antofagasta Bodyboard Festival.
So again, score update, 4.15 for Kalani's last wave. He is now in 1st place. Grenier in 2nd. The Brazilian Eder Luciano in 3rd, and Brahim in 4th.
I think all of those positions are going to change again. Like
well, still, Eder only has 1 wave.
Exactly. So there's only 8.5 minutes left here, but that is plenty time for all these guys to catch another wave. And like you said, Eder needs another wave. Grenier pretty much at 1.2 shouldn't be a scoring ride, so he's going to replace that. And Brahimi Douche, he's definitely going to be replacing those pocket 2s that he's holding there. And they're not going to be much value to him later on in this heat. Kalani Latanzi, 2 very average scores, 4.15 and a 3.5. He is sitting in first place, but he is going to have to regroup and find his momentum to replace at least that 3.5 to put him in a better situation.
Yeah, for sure.
And that set kind of went by unridden, and maybe a bit too washy and bumpy.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, with a bigger swell like this, some of the waves are bigger, rips out there.
Absolutely. What happens actually when there's a set with a lot of waves in it, if one of the first waves in that set is bigger than the rest of them, you get a layer of foam and aerated water that the rest of the waves are breaking in, which makes it very difficult for you to hold a rail on a bodyboard.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
very difficult to judge your line that you need to take and to gain control and hold control throughout the wave. So the guys often opt not to catch those waves that are breaking in white water and in turbulent water. They want that clean, green water, and it's smooth and better to draw out good lines. As we see, the Moroccan rider, Brahimi Douche, he's gunning it for a little section here, setting up, power
Nice.
roll through the roof.
Punching it through the lip right there.
And this is looking better for Brahimi Douche. He needs to improve on, a pair of 2s. So he'll definitely do that with that last roll.
But it's still not what he's looking for, right?
It's not. This is not the characteristic Brahimi Douche that I see in heats. I think he's going to have way more to offer than that, and I hope he gets back out there and has a crack at it.
Still enough time. 7
Absolutely.
minutes, a little bit less. Oh, up and
And,
riding. This is Blue ducking out.
Yeah, I
Didn't
think
like
that might have
wave.
been a little tactical move to try and keep one of the other competitors off. I don't know who was out there with him at that time.
Eder.
It looked like, that's right, Eder Luciano in red. So Greyer just trying to keep him off.
Oh, but
And,
now looking again. Look at this.
he's just trying to keep busy. He knows he needs to replace that small score, which he's just done there.
1.2.
And I don't know if he's going to get much more on this wave. That might not have been the best thing to do, I think. He's going to have looked for maybe a 4 or something bigger than that. And yeah, I don't know how that's going to pan out towards the end of the heat, but we'll see. For now, he will improve his situation.
So we see a 3.8 coming in for that last wave of Brahim Idouche. Still, Eder Luciano, his only scoring wave was 6.13. Man, he's just waiting quite a while to get that second wave. Doesn't need much of a score, though, to move up into advancing position.
Eder Luciano, he's got nerves of steel. He knows exactly how this works. He knows he's sitting with the best ride of the heat. That's 6.13. He hasn't even got a second ride. He's in 4th, but he only needs a half a point. So once he gets that score, I think it is a 0.82. So all he really has to do is take off, draw a line, and he's got it. So you can see a bit of a set here on the horizon. Guys are scratching to get into good position. And Eder Luciano looks like he'll be in a better place than everyone else. Just duck diving through some open face with Gray here very close behind him.
5 minutes remaining. 5 minutes remaining here in the 6th heat of round number 5 for the men. This is a global qualifying series event. Valuable points being earned here. The top 8 going to qualify for the Grand Slam Series next year, 2014. We are coming to you live from Antofagasta, Chile. Our second event in a row here in Chile, and we've been having quite an amazing time between Arica and here. A very beautiful country with a lot of history, a lot of interesting stuff to see and do here in Chile. And we are headed to Itacochaira, Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, tomorrow night. I'm on the plane.
I'm out of here tomorrow morning, ready to go. Can't wait to get there. It's been an amazing time in Chile, but I'm ready for the next step.
Here is Eder Luciano.
He knows what he needs to do. He's already got the high score of the heat so far. Nice roll. Gets a bit of air under his board, bouncing through the sides there, and pulls out before he gets into that really shallow end section of that reef. So you're just going to get a medium range score there, maybe a 3 or a 4 for that roll, and it'll just put him in a more comfortable position.
Yeah, it certainly will. It'll
It'll rocket him up.
Yeah, it's gonna bump Kalani Latanzi down a spot for sure. So again, Grenier Lore in first position. Oh, now second position because Eder got a 4.78. So Eder in first, Grenier in second, Kalani Latanzi in third. He's looking now for a 5.04 if he wants to move up. Brahim Idouche, he is looking for a 5.39 if he wants to move up.
This has been quite a heat, a lot of changes going on here in positions. And as the time counts down, I can't see how much time is remaining, but That looks like 3 minutes and 40 seconds remaining, as you can see on the screen right now. And that is the situation. This is exactly what's happening out here live at the Antofagasta Bodyboard Festival. And Eder Luciano, he's taking a commanding lead here. Grenier needs a 5.17 to try and catch Eder Luciano. And Kalani Latanzi only a 5.04 to knock Grenier out of second place and take that advancing spot. Whereas Brahimi Dush, he's got some serious work to do. He needs a 5.39 to get into second place. I reckon he's still going to want to try and get rid of both of those scores, but I don't think time's going to allow him. He's going to look for something big here to stamp Grenier out of second place. And the guys are waiting patiently. It looks like the wind's come up a little bit. My heat was very glassy. I saw the next heat was still very glassy.
Yeah, it doesn't look offshore. It looks I mean, even though it's later in the morning, it looks like morning sickness almost, kind of, huh?
It does look a little bit like morning sickness. I think it's just a little bit of a cross-shore breeze. It doesn't really affect the wave too much. There's still a lot of clean, open face, especially as these bigger waves suck the water off the reef. It kind of smooths the face out, and you get some heavy sections for the guys to hit and pull into barrels. So I'm sure we're going to see some amazing riding out here today.
Hopefully.
And
quite a few heats to go today. We still have,
as we see Kalani Latanzi taking off, kind of getting a little cover up, pushing out the front, and looking for a section. I don't know if he's going to find something here. It looks like this wave's gone a bit fat, and he's pulled off. So Kalani Latanzi back to the drawing board, buddy. 2 minutes and 10 seconds remaining. He's in a serious spot of bother here. Brahimi Dush, the Moroccan danger man, setting up for a little ball. And it looks like he might get something here.
look at this. Nice.
Big roll. And I don't know if he's going to push
landed
out
right there in
He
the little
does.
pad.
He comes
Perfect.
out.
And talk about the feeling, Sasha. You know, as you know it very well, as you see, maybe you can look for another roll even. I don't know.
Oh,
but talk about the feeling when you go to throw a big roll on a wave and you get pitched out and you're thinking, oh boy, here comes the big landing. This is Grenier Lori. But you're waiting for that big flop or that big impact with the bottom below you. And talk about the feeling when you hit that little cushion. You're like, oh, that was nice. Huh?
It's definitely very unexpected. Quite often you're expecting to land in some seriously flat water, which is harder than you think, let me tell you.
Yeah.
And sometimes you come down and the actual explosion of the wave is coming up underneath you and just kind of cushions your landing and pushes you out in front of the wave.
Helps you decelerate.
Absolutely. It's perfect. It's exactly what you want, especially when it's slightly bigger like this, when you're going to get some big roll maneuvers like we see here in this replay from Brahimi Dush. He set this up perfectly and hits the section, gets a lot of air underneath his board, lands in some flat water, but that cushion just pushing him out with the foam ball.
So
and, that might just be enough.
He was looking for a 5.39. Kalani was looking for a 5.04, and 40 seconds or so to go. Look at the birds out there going crazy. It must be some fish out there. That's why we see the fishing boat following the birds, because you know where the birds are, that's where the fish are.
I can see some seals just throwing around some fish. So they must be having a field out here. The ocean is alive out here, let me tell you, people. Some serious marine life.
So Brahim does come through with a 5.45 that puts him up to second place behind Eder Luciano. Grenier Lori, the man from Union Island, 3.43 on his last wave, and a 4.75, so that puts him up as well, and he puts Brahim back down, just third.
So that was a crazy exchange, those last dying seconds of that heat. Grenier Lori from Union Island squeaks past Kalani Latanzi and Brahimi Dush. So Brahimi Dush actually finishes in third place, Kalani Latanzi in fourth, and Grenier Lori, Eder Luciano go through that heat into round